Planning a ghost hunting trip is exactly like managing a financial portfolio. You're allocating two very limited resources, your hard-earned vacation days and your travel budget, and expecting a specific return on that investment. But most travelers make a crucial mistake right out of the gate. They pick their destination based on famous folklore and Hollywood movies, completely ignoring the actual data. If we want to optimize this trip, we need an objective baseline. For this, we evaluate the number of reported paranormal encounters per 1,000 people in a given state. When you sort by this metric, a severe logistical trade-off immediately appears. You have to choose between how comfortable your vacation is and how likely you are to actually experience something unexplained. A successful paranormal trip means ruthlessly aligning your spending with statistical probability, rather than just booking a flight to the most famous tourist trap. Let's look at the top 5 most haunted states in the US based on that encounters per thousand metric. This chart plots the data from lowest to highest. We have New York at 1.2 encounters per thousand people, Ohio at 1.4, California at 1.5, Louisiana at 1.6, and Texas taking the top spot at 1.8. Notice the specific gap at the extreme ends of this scale. New York, which carries a massive cultural footprint in ghost media, actually performs the worst statistically compared to Texas. This reveals the core tension of dark tourism: curated accessibility versus raw encounter probability. You can pay extra to stay in a comfortable, maintained environment, or you can sweat it out in the wilderness for a higher statistical yield. To make this actionable, we can categorize these 5 states into 3 distinct travel tiers, depending entirely on your personal tolerance for travel friction. First, we have the dual-purpose vacationer tier, comprising New York and California. New York sets our baseline at 1.2 encounters per 1,000 people. Chasing this number requires navigating highly developed, high-cost urban environments. You are dealing with dense historical infrastructure here. The ghosts might be famous, but the sheer volume of modern development heavily dilutes your mathematical chance of an isolated encounter. California bumps the rate up slightly to 1.5, and here paranormal tourism is frequently bundled directly with luxury travel accommodations. The Queen Mary ship in Long Beach is the perfect example. It has a well-documented history of haunted sailors, but you're paying a premium price for a highly structured, comfortable hotel experience while you look for them. The trade-off in this tier is straightforward. Your budget is buying safety, room service, and traditional vacation amenities. It is not buying the highest statistical probability of an encounter. If you want a standard, luxurious vacation with a minor spooky element on the side, New York and California offer the safest, lowest friction ROI. Next is the curated lore tier. This covers Ohio and Louisiana, and it's engineered specifically for travelers prioritizing historical atmosphere and guided experiences. Ohio offers a 1.4 encounter rate. Its value comes from being highly concentrated within specifically maintained institutional properties rather than scattered out in the wild. Locations like the Ohio State Reformatory give you a contained setting to investigate the spirits of old prisoners. You get the creepy ambiance without needing to pack wilderness survival gear. Louisiana steps up the probability to 1.6, driven by deeply entrenched cultural hubs. Specifically in New Orleans, the entire city's infrastructure supports the ghost stories. You get incredibly easy, walkable access to heavy folklore straight from your hotel. But there is a logistical catch. High tourist volume in places like these historic cemeteries means you are sharing the space. A crowded vault severely dilutes the authenticity of having a personal, isolated experience. Ohio and Louisiana are the ideal compromise. You get a guaranteed spooky atmosphere and easy bookings, as long as you're willing to share your ghost hunt with a crowd. Finally, we reach the high-yield, high-effort tier. This belongs entirely to Texas, and it's built for the hardcore investigator. Texas delivers the absolute highest statistical probability of an encounter nationwide, sitting at a strict 1.8 per thousand people. But accessing this peak metric requires extreme logistical friction. You'll be renting vehicles and navigating decentralized remote ghost towns with zero tourist infrastructure. Even when a haunted site is well maintained, it requires intentional, standalone travel to get there, rather than hopping between spots in an urban grid. Places like the Driscoll Hotel are isolated pockets of history. Getting there requires deliberate routing and specific planning, unlike a walkable street in New Orleans. Texas maximizes your mathematical return on investment, but it demands significant self-guided effort. You have to be totally willing to sacrifice curated comforts to get that 1.8 rating. You should never blindly book a trip to the #1 state on a statistical list if the logistics required don't match how you like to vacation. This decision tree framework will route you to the correct destination based entirely on your primary travel goal. If you prioritize luxury and dual-purpose family amenities, route your budget to New York or California. If you prefer immersive history and easy-to-book guided tours, direct your resources to Louisiana or Ohio. And if you are strictly optimizing for the highest statistical probability and accept high travel friction, route directly to Texas. The core insight here is that a 1.2 encounter rate in New York is actually a massive success if your goal was a relaxing, comfortable trip rather than a failure at ghost hunting. The optimal haunted state is subjective. It depends completely on the specific mix of money, time, and physical effort you are willing to provide. Before booking any flights, define your travel profile. Chasing the highest number on a leaderboard without evaluating your tolerance for friction will ruin your trip. In dark tourism, you pay for comfort with your dollars, but you pay for authentic encounters with your effort. Choose your currency wisely.